Superheroes and superpowers have been a core part of Western culture because they're in so many different movies. But that's the thing. Nobody actually has real superpowers. So what if they did? What if superpowers were real and I can turn invisible right now?
You have no idea what I'm doing right now. Am I naked? Are my butt cheeks out?
No, they're not. You thought for a second. But I always thought that having superpowers in real life would be awesome. But today we're checking out why they wouldn't be and why having superpowers would actually suck. Let's see why.
To some people, invisibility would be a dream superpower.
Yes, it would.
They fantasize about all the things they could do without being noticed.
Yo, the girls' locker room. I would never do that. That is so messed up. Disgusting act.
Disgusting!
Not exactly heroic things, but when you look closer, it's not as cool as it sounds. Here's the problem. For you to see, light has to hit the back of your eyes. But if you're invisible, light would just pass through you, leaving you blind. And if somehow your eyes could catch light, they would still be visible, making you a pair of floating eyeballs. Just creepy. To go fully invisible, you need to be completely naked. Not that some of you would mind that, but you wouldn't be able to carry anything either, and since no one can see you, they would crash into you all the time. You better not use perfume or even make noise breathing. People would still know you are there.
Wait, some of these, like, I never even thought of. Because I've played games with my friends before where it was like, would you rather have invisibility or the ability to fly? And then we would go, like, pros and cons as to why we would either want one or the other. But the fact that nobody can see you obviously means that people will just walk right into you, like on the street. And if you live in a city where there's thousands of people walking all the time, it would be so frustrating trying to avoid everybody because they literally can't see you. I know that's kind of like a minor one, but just one that I never thought of before.
Plus, if you're thinking that you could rob a bank, a thermal camera would still spot your heat radiation,
Whoa.
making it nearly impossible to sneak in undetected.
That's crazy. How do cameras work like that? That doesn't make any sense at all to me. How does a camera know if it's hot 100 feet that way in a little area? How does it know that? Like, how does it have sensors? That technology does not make any sense to me. But yeah, apparently having the power to be invisible would be terrible in real life.
Intangibility. Picture this. You've just unlocked intangibility. You're super excited, so
I guess that means you can walk through
your hand
walls?
through a wall.
Okay.
But the moment you activate your powers, you drop straight through the floor, sinking into the earth. You either deactivate your powers and become fused into rock, suffocating to death, or continue sinking until you reach the molten center of the earth due to gravity, unable to do anything, waiting until you decide to die.
Okay, wait, what if you can do just certain limbs at a time? That would make it not as useful as being able to walk through walls, but it would still be useful in some aspects. Like you turn on intangibility, but just for your arm. So you reach through something, but you don't actually fall straight through the ground. That's like the only thing it would be useful for. But yeah, that's another great point. Or hear me out, I found it. I found the way. You would have to run and jump and then turn on the intangibility as you phase through the wall. This way, when you get to the other side, you're still falling onto the ground and then you turn it back on. Bang. The problem is, if you mess it up just one time, you're cooked. You're in big, big trouble.
Super speed.
Okay.
A moderate super speed of about 190 miles per hour, like Dash's, wouldn't be so bad. The problems would be minimal. But if we're talking about speed similar to the Flash, without Speed Force, then it would be a disaster waiting to happen. You would have to generate an enormous amount of force, far greater than what the human body can handle. And it would cause your legs to simply rip off your body.
We're not counting this because if you have the ability of super speed, that it should go hand in hand with like, okay, then I had the body fit enough to be able to use the super speed. I don't count this one yet, at least. He's probably going to make some other valid points.
Here's another thing. Air isn't empty. It's filled with elements like oxygen and nitrogen, plus tons of tiny dust particles. As you move through air, you're rubbing against these particles, generating friction that produces heat.
Oh, the budget one here. Hey, yo. Wait. We're actually getting like an anime in this. This is crazy. Go ahead. Oh, it's like falling through the atmosphere because you're moving so fast it gets so hot.
At super speed would generate enough heat to burn your
Is
entire
that why
body.
that happens?
Let's say you don't burn. You still need to see where you're going. Human perception isn't adapted to handle high speeds, so moving at super speed would make everything blurry. The speed at which you think would need to match your physical speed. Otherwise, you would just crash into things.
True.
Possibly doing what A-Train did, just running through people. And in the case that your perception does keep up, the world around you would seem so slow that you'd basically be stuck in time. Having super speed would also mean burning millions of calories every day, so you'd go broke, buying all the food needed to keep your metabolism satisfied.
That's true. You literally wouldn't even have the time to eat all of that food in a day. I know a guy that ran across all of America nonstop. He just ran the whole time. I mean, he would sleep and then wake up and then run again. And as he was running, he was like eating peanut butter jars so that, well, jars of peanut butter, not the jar itself, but he would just to get like thousands and thousands of calories in because he was burning so many while running. But he does make some valid points. One thing he didn't technically mention, but kind of hit on would be the reaction time too, which I guess he kind of said. But if you're running so fast, the human brain can only react so quickly to the point where if something does pop up and you're running at 1,000,000 miles an hour, you're not gonna have the reaction time to be able to like skirt around him and turn, and you know what I'm saying?
Teleportation.
Okay, this one's cool.
As you might know, the Earth is in constant motion through space, moving at around 67,000 miles per hour. It rotates, orbits the sun, and the solar system orbits around the center of the galaxy.
Nah.
If you wanted to teleport, you would need to calculate the exact position of the Earth through space.
No, that's not how teleporting works. We all know this. You just think of where you want to go and bang. You don't have to calculate, none of that shenanigans. Technically, maybe he might be right as far as like pinpointing a specific spot in the entire universe. Then you have to do the latitude, longitude, hooply-dood, pooply-pood. But that's crazy. That's silly. I disagree.
Immortality. If you were given the choice between dying in 1 year or becoming immortal, what would you choose?
It's gotta be dying in 1 year, right? Becoming immortal sounds on paper like it's cool, but living forever and ever and ever and ever, you would just go crazy and then you would never be able to get out of that place. If I had an option where I could choose when I die, I think I would do that. I would like to stay in my current body and then choose when I die. That would be cool. I don't like the idea of aging and then dying of old age. That scares me a lot.
The choice seems obvious, doesn't it? You're thinking that being immortal would be much better than dying in a year, right? But if you're immortal, you would have to watch everyone you love die over and over again until you don't have any emotional feelings anymore. You would live to see the human race die out. You would see the world end, and ultimately, you would be drifting in space all alone for eternity.
That's the part that's terrible. All the other ones, before he started, I kind of understood where he was probably going to go with it as far as like how it would suck to have that superpower. What could possibly be bad about stopping time?
Time stop. Oh, time stop. The superpower desired by many. Time stop would be a dream come true for some individuals
If I could only
for
freeze
obvious
time.
reasons. But in reality, it would be a nightmare.
How? Test day, exactly. Freeze time. Go look at the answer sheet. Come back and write all the right answers. Yeah.
The moment you stop time, the molecules of air around you would stop as
There
well,
we go.
making it impossible to breathe. It also means photons would stop, rendering you unable to see. So you stop time and become unable to breathe or see until you either resume time or just die. Great power, huh?
Okay, he's making all of these superpowers really sad. These are arguments that I've had with my friends so many times. Being able to stop time, or be able to teleport, or be able to fly, or be able to have super strength. They always sound so cool. He's like this guy's ruining my childhood. All of my hopes and dreams and all of my training to become a superhuman is now useless. And now I have nothing to look forward to in life.
Super strength. Super strength sounds awesome, right?
It does.
In real life, though, it's a mess.
How?
Everything's designed for regular people, meaning that if you were super strong, you would be breaking doorknobs, keyboards, and glasses left and right. Imagine going to hug your mom and breaking her spine because you don't know how to control your strength yet. Having super strength doesn't mean you're indestructible either. If you punch a wall, for example, because of Newton's third law, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. The force that you applied to the wall would be applied back to you with the same intensity, knocking you back and breaking your hand.
No way that's how it works. You would just be able to punch through the wall. It would have to be like an insanely strong wall. You could say that with anything even today, like with not super strength. The only thing I would say would sting about super strength is being able to give hugs, because I like to give a nice big hug to like my mama and my dad. If I'm actually super strong, where I'm like 1,000,000 times the strength that I am now, I would have to be so gentle with them and like barely touch them, which is, well, that's not fun. I would want to give a big hug. But if you guys want me to feel better, you can do so by leaving a like, hitting the subscribe button maybe, and clicking right here to watch another awesome video.